Congratulations, you did it. The planning is over, the beautiful honeymoon photos are posted, and now you're married. For the first time, you have the stability, the commitment, and the promise of happily ever after that you dreamed of. But if you've noticed a tiny, nagging voice saying, "This feels different," or "This is harder than I thought," you are not alone. You are completely normal. The wedding is the finish line of courtship. Marriage is the starting line of a new psychological sport. This journey isn't just about love, it's about the deliberate, daily choice to build a partnership. For years, media and movies have sold us the happily ever after fantasy, the myth that marriage is a destination where all your problems magically dissolve into domestic bliss. The psychological truth? Marriage is not a magic fix. It is an amplifier. It amplifies who you are, what your conflicts are, and how you communicate. It pushes you into a phase of profound personal growth. Today, we're diving deep into the psychology of a newly married couple. We'll uncover the real emotional shifts, the hidden challenges, and the science-backed truths that define the first year of marriage, the stage that shapes everything that follows. Let's begin the reset. When two people go from dating to being married, something fascinating happens in the mind. It's like your brain begins reprogramming itself from me to we. For years, you've made choices centered around your own space, your own timing, and your own needs. Suddenly, marriage asks you to consider another person in almost every decision. Psychologists call this fusion behavior, the gradual merging of two separate identities into one shared life. It's exciting at first, like a dance of closeness and belonging. Yet at the same time, it's confusing. You start asking questions like, where do I end and we begin? Or, how much of myself should I compromise? Your mind, wired for independence, now has to learn cooperation on a deeper level. That's why the little things, like how your partner organizes, eats, or relaxes, can suddenly feel more noticeable than ever. They aren't deal breakers, they're simply signs that both of your nervous systems are learning to live in rhythm. And then there's the stage that almost everyone talks about with a dreamy smile, the honeymoon phase. Biochemically, your body is flooded with oxytocin, dopamine, and serotonin, the same neurotransmitters that make falling in love feel like a rush. Everything seems magical. The smallest gestures feel huge, the laughter comes easily, and you feel like you've unlocked some secret version of happiness. But that intoxicating high doesn't last forever. Usually within 6 to 12 months, the brain's chemical fireworks calm down and reality steps in. Suddenly you start noticing things you didn't before, the quirks, the moods, the habits. You might even find yourself thinking, wait, why does this feel different? That's not love fading, it's love evolving. This stage, known as the disillusionment phase, is when fantasy gives way to reality. Couples who recognize this as a normal transition don't panic. Instead, they shift from chemistry-based connection to emotionally intentional connection. They start choosing love consciously, not just feeling it automatically. That shift leads straight into one of the most eye-opening parts of early marriage, the collision of expectations. Every person carries invisible rules about what marriage should be, shaped by family, culture, and experience. Maybe one partner believes love means constant communication, while the other sees space as respect. Maybe one assumes holidays will be spent with family, while the other pictures travel and adventure. These unspoken assumptions can cause quiet tension. Psychologist John Gottman calls them perpetual problems, issues that might never disappear completely, but can be managed with empathy and humor. The healthiest couples don't try to erase differences. They learn to talk through them without judgment. They realize that successful marriage isn't about identical preferences, but shared understanding. Still, as you start navigating life together, another subtle shift takes place. You might feel like you're losing a part of yourself. It's natural. You've just gone from my life to our life, and sometimes that can feel like an identity blur. Psychologists describe this process as differentiation, the balance between staying emotionally close and maintaining individuality. In a culture that prizes independence, this can be tricky. You might wonder if needing alone time means you're drifting apart. It doesn't. In fact, couples who protect each other's individuality, who still have their own hobbies, friends, and dreams, tend to stay happier long-term. Love isn't about merging into one person. It's about supporting each other's separate growth while walking the same path. And as your individual worlds start blending, something else quietly forms, a power dynamic. Every relationship, consciously or not, creates an internal balance of control. Who decides the big choices? Who manages finances? Who initiates emotional conversations? In older generations, roles were often fixed, but today's relationships are more fluid. Still, balance doesn't happen automatically. One partner may naturally take the lead while the other steps back, and that can create small waves of tension. The healthiest marriages don't fight for dominance, they collaborate. Studies show that couples who practice shared power, who both feel heard and respected, experience deeper intimacy and less resentment. Marriage works best when it's built like a partnership, not a hierarchy. Eventually, every couple hits that first real conflict, the one that feels like a shock after months of peace. Maybe it's about money, chores, family, or tone. The first argument is always revealing. It shows how you each handle stress, how you apologize, and how you listen. But the goal of conflict isn't to win, it's to understand. Happy couples know how to fight fair. They use repair attempts, small gestures like, "I'm sorry," a light joke, or a pause for calm to signal safety in the middle of tension. These tiny moments matter more than perfect communication because they tell your partner, "You matter more than my pride." Conflict isn't a sign of weakness, it's proof that both people care enough to engage. As those emotional layers deepen, intimacy begins to evolve. At first, it's physical, passion, touch, closeness. But true intimacy goes far beyond chemistry. It's about emotional safety, the ability to be seen fully and still feel loved. When you can say, "I'm scared," or "I need reassurance," without fear of judgment, that's real connection. Research shows that emotional intimacy is the strongest predictor of long-term relationship satisfaction, even more than sexual frequency. Because when emotional trust is strong, physical closeness naturally thrives. Intimacy at its best isn't about perfection, it's about vulnerability met with gentleness. And beneath it all, the foundation that holds everything together is friendship. Romance may start the story, but friendship sustains it. Think about it. Do you actually like your partner as a person? Do you laugh together, share inside jokes, cheer for each other's wins? Psychologists like John Gottman have found that friendship is the #1 indicator of a lasting marriage. When the butterflies fade and stress hits, friendship is the anchor. It's what turns marriage from a contract into companionship. Of course, even the strongest couples don't live in a vacuum. The outside world starts to press in: money worries, work stress, family expectations, and the endless social media comparison trap. Financial tension, in particular, hits many newlyweds hard. It's rarely about the amount of money, it's about mindset. One might save, the other might spend. One plans long-term, the other lives in the moment. The healthiest couples face money like a team, not opponents. They replace my money and your money with our plan. The same goes for family or social pressures. Set boundaries early. As psychologist Sue Johnson says, successful couples form a secure emotional base, meaning no matter what the world throws at them, they stand united. And somewhere around the 1-year mark, after the highs, the adjustments, and the growth, something incredible happens. The chaos settles, the love deepens, the relationship enters what psychologists call the attachment phase. The spark becomes steadier, the bond feels safer. You start finishing each other's sentences, predicting moods, and calming each other without words. It's not about butterflies anymore, it's about belonging. This mature stage of love is quieter but far more powerful because it's built on trust, consistency, and shared emotional history. It's no longer about being in love, it's about staying in love. So, what is the psychology of a newly married couple? It's the story of two people learning to transform chemistry into connection, expectation into understanding, and independence into interdependence. It's realizing that marriage doesn't fix you, it reveals you. It exposes your strengths, insecurities, and capacity for empathy. And in that process, it teaches you how to love more consciously. The couples who thrive aren't the ones who avoid problems. They're the ones who stay curious about each other through every phase. Because the real beauty of marriage isn't in the perfection of the journey, it's in the commitment to grow together. Thank you for listening to The Psychology of People. If this episode gave you something to think about, hit that like button, share it with someone newly married, and subscribe for more weekly deep dives into how humans think, love, and evolve. Until next time, stay kind, stay curious, and keep learning the psychology of people.